Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to today's video. My name is AmberRose if you are new here, and if you're not new here, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe if you're not already to join my family, and with that, let's get into today's video. I actually had this video completely filmed the entire week of training for this job, and after editing the entire video, it just didn't turn out the way I wanted, so I decided to sit down right now and make the video a lot shorter, a lot cleaner. Now I'm still going to include clips of all of those days. If you can see by the title of this video, this is going back to work during a pandemic. So backtracking to March of 2020, the very beginning of the COVID global pandemic, I was laid off from my job. Now at the time, I don't think anyone really realized how big of a deal that would be and how catastrophic the unemployment rate would be and how many people would be without a job in for so long. But I was one of those people that I did not have a job for almost 9 months, and I was lucky enough that I was getting unemployment. So in terms of financially, I was fine. I had actually been looking for a job probably since June or July, even earlier than that, but I could not find a job for the life of me, meaning I had been turned down from places like Starbucks, from grocery stores, from being overqualified. So come the end of August of 2020, I got a call from a random number in Orange County, California. Now I never answer phone calls that I don't know the number, so I let it go to voicemail, and the voicemail said it was an employer who had gotten my application off of Indeed and they were just calling back in terms of a job interview, and I had never applied for this job, so I was really confused. And come to find out, my boyfriend had actually applied for me, and so I told him about it and he was like, oh, you should call her. Just a disclaimer, I also am a full-time student, so the type of job that I was looking for was part-time. I did not think that I was going to be able to handle a full-time job, like 40 hours a week, and do school full-time. Now this job that I got a call back for was a full-time 8 to 5 Monday through Friday 40-hour-a-week job, and I was like, there's no way, this is not anything that I can handle, I don't want it, no. Now my boyfriend was like, call her back, just see what it's about. So I did. So I called this lady back and she was like, can you come in for an interview tomorrow? So there I go again, and I was like, well, no, I'm in Colorado, I can't come tomorrow. Sorry, thank you anyway, have a good rest of your day. She was like, well, hold on, can you come in on Monday for a job interview? And I was like, yes, because I got back to California that Saturday. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll just go and see what this is all about. We set up a time for the job interview, and this is what this whole video is about. So the day that I went in for the actual job interview, this was Monday, August 31st of 2020. It was very brief. I went in, spoke with the lady who I had the phone interview with. She was very nice, very straight to the point. Everything went well, and lo and behold, she tells me to come back the next day for training. Not, oh, we'll call you back, or I'll let you know how this goes. Like literally on the spot, she was like, well, you're not employed, so you can come back tomorrow for training, correct? And I was like, I guess. I just don't know how to feel about it. I'm nervous.
When she goes to a job interview, she really shows it off. She carries herself very well. She's shy, but also comes out as very professional. No, she's not really talkative. She's just perfect to the point. Yes or no, ma'am. Love that about her. You know?
I'm only in like my second week of school right now for fall semester, so it's a little overwhelming, like thinking about doing school full-time, working full-time, and like actively doing YouTube. So it's overwhelming thinking about how I'm gonna like do everything. I'm just gonna like do something that I don't normally do, and I'm just gonna go with the flow and see what happens.
You've been doing really good at it. I mean, you've been really like kicking ass with going outside that bubble and trying something that you're not usually used to try. You're working yourself and it's improved a lot.
So going into the next day, training on Tuesday, this was the first day of actual training. This was probably the hardest day for me because this was really the day that I started to realize how I had been dealing with feelings of my stress, feelings of my anxiety, and the biggest issue that I've been dealing with, especially with the pandemic, is change. I am not someone that deals with change very well, and especially around the months of July, August, and September, I have had a lot of instances in my life where things are changing unexpectedly overnight, unexpectedly on the spot, without planning, and I'm not someone that deals with that very well. Like I need a plan, I need organization, I need notice in advance, like I need those type of things, and I just didn't have any of that. So like this job, actually, it wasn't a job I had applied for, it wasn't a job that I had been expecting to get a call about, and then showing up for an interview and then getting told to come back literally the next day for training. Everything was just happening so fast, and I was having a really hard time dealing with those emotions. promotions, and I was really nervous to meet the people that were in my training group because I didn't know any of them. This was really the first day that it hit me that I was going back to work after having 8 full months, almost 9 months, to focus on myself. My last job that I had, the job that I got let go of, was borderline an abusive job, in the sense of there was a lot of mistreatment of their employees. The way they handled situations was definitely illegal. I 100% could have sued for the mistreatment. It was so bad, and my mental health took a massive decline. Definitely now realizing getting laid off was 100% like the best thing that could have ever happened. I didn't have to quit. I didn't have to purposely try and get fired. I got laid off, which means by law they have to give me a severance check. But I was so scared of going back into a job after having 8 months to get my mental health back in check, and having 8 months of freedom, and having 8 months of time to myself. I was so scared of going back to a job and being treated like that again. I was genuinely terrified of it. That was like my biggest fear going into all of this. Another thing was I didn't know how to handle going back into the same cycle. So my old job was also an 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Now my boyfriend, he works a Tuesday through Saturday schedule, but he works night. He does 3 to midnight. So we work complete opposite schedules, and it's really hard because we get 1 day off a week to see each other, and other than that, like, we literally don't see each other because when I get up for work, he's sleeping. When he comes home from work, I'm sleeping, that kind of a deal. So I wasn't really sure how I was gonna like be able to deal with that. So moral of the story, this day was just really hard for me because everything again was happening at once and I wasn't sure how to deal with it. My biggest fear going into today was meeting new people. Not training for the job and not learning new things or being in a new environment. Especially the last 2 years, I just really prefer a quiet environment, and I really prefer being around people that I know and that I'm comfortable with. I get really shy and really nervous meeting new people. Training was good, the job is good. I just have that fear of not knowing what's gonna happen. This is just all gonna be new. It's gonna bring new obstacles and new feelings, but I think I'm prepared to deal with that. And honestly, I made mistakes in my past. When all of my friends were going to college, when we had just graduated high school, I was backpacking around Europe. Like, I did everything completely against the traditional book. And I don't regret those decisions because it's brought me to where I am now, and it's gotten me to know the people that I know now. But if I could go back, there's just a lot of things that I would have done differently. And my main objective with this job is to just save up money. Like, I was never instilled how important it is to like build your credit and save money and like have an emergency fund. Like, these are just things I was never taught and I had never instilled. And so I'm 23 and like I don't have a savings account, and I have credit card debt, and I don't know, there's just things I would have done differently. So with this job, I'm hoping to have the opportunity to save money and correct some things that I wish were different and kind of start fresh in a way. I will say I was very anxious like halfway through the day. I was fine when I got there, fine through the first half of training. The second part of training is when I got really anxious. Now the second day of training, this was the first day that I realized I was tired. After having 8 months to sleep whenever you want, get up whenever you want, make your own schedule, and then having to be thrown back into an actual job and being like, okay, well, you have to be here at this time, I was tired. Also, this day, they literally let go of half of our training group, and it was so unexpected. But what I loved about this day was I kind of realized that it was nothing like my other job. It was a fast-paced environment, there was incentive, and I was in charge of myself. It felt very good to actually be in charge of myself. My old job, I literally couldn't even go to the bathroom without someone having to know where I was or what I was doing. I couldn't leave my desk without asking for permission. Like, I literally felt like I was in jail, and it was so disgusting, and it felt like such an invasion of privacy. This job is nothing like that. Like, I'm actually treated like an adult and like a human, so that's nice. The second day of training, I was also really proud of myself for accepting change and working hard for something, because I actually wanted to succeed at this job. Because at first I didn't want the job at all, and I wasn't even gonna take the interview. And after making it through like the first cut, I was like, maybe I do want this job. I was proud of myself for like working hard. First things that I've noticed. After not working for 7 months, I am tired. I only set one alarm this morning and I slept through it. The first thing off the bat is they start plucking people out one by one. And those people that got plucked out were given a final check and then told to leave. And like none of us were expecting it. So our group literally was cut in half today. But towards the end of the day, like after my lunch, things started to pick up and I was doing better. And it's actually something that I enjoy so far. I mean, it's only day 3, but what I enjoy about it is it's a fast-paced environment. There's incentive, there's something to work for, and I'm in charge of myself. I don't want to jinx anything. I'm pretty sure the group that we have right now is the group that is staying. Like, I don't think they're making any more cuts, but you never know. So we still have more training to do, but as of right now, I am proud of myself for sticking through it. I'm proud of myself for working hard. I'm proud of myself for overcoming my anxiety, and I'm proud of myself for accepting change and trying new things. 3rd day of training, this day was weird as crap. Like, the weirdest stuff happened. Today went by very good, but it's been a little bit bizarre because yesterday when we were leaving work, there was a shooting across the street from the building I work at. And then I had a doctor's appointment this morning and there was a hit and run in front of my doctor's office. And then I got to work this morning and 2 of the girls that I got hired with were in a car accident this morning, so they were not at work. So there was just like a lot going on. But I was also number 1 in my training group this day, and this persisted on till the end of training, which was pretty incredible because, like I said, I didn't even want the job at first. So to be number 1 in my training group, I was like, I guess I'm doing something right. And I also did realize that the hardest part was not going to be balancing like school and work, because again, I'm a full-time student. I realized the hardest part was definitely going to be balancing a relationship and work, again, because me and my boyfriend work completely opposite schedules. I was just really tired this day as well. First week of training was just overall exhausting because I hadn't done that much work in 9 months almost. I found out that I'm the number 1 candidate in our training program, which for me, I'm like shook because my crippling anxiety it's a lot. The only thing I have to say is that I am very tired, like very tired. I think the hardest part adjusting to this, I thought it was going to be balancing like work and school, but I honestly think it's going to be balancing like work and relationship. Last night when John got home from work, we kind of had a talk. We literally don't see each other. And then when I worked my old job, that was the hardest part for me because my job was a very toxic environment and I was treated very poorly. And then coming home and being like very alone and isolated was very toxic and like not fun. And so last night just kind of felt like the same vibe, like not having John around and stuff. So I think that's like the only thing that's slightly bothering me, is just not having him. That's my quick update. Tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow's our first full day, but I'm very proud of myself. If you've made it this far, honestly, bless you, because I can't believe I have made it this far. We'll see what the final verdict is tomorrow. So first full day of training was Friday, September 4th. This was like the first 8 to 5 day. This was the day that I realized that I got hired, and not only did I get hired, I was the only person in my group to get hired. Yeah, I definitely didn't realize that they would be chopping off everybody but me, which again, I'm very surprised about because I didn't even want the job. And then I'm the only one that made it through. I'm just very, 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 very proud of myself for overcoming all those feelings. It was such a stressful week for me. Like, genuinely, it was so stressful. Okay, guys, we made it. It is Friday. It is the end of the week. I made the cut. I am now an official new employee. Today was definitely intense. We jumped right into it, and I don't have much more to say, honestly. I've definitely just been combating like my anxiety, just getting back into the swing of working after not working for 8 months, also working during a pandemic. It's different in terms of protocol, wearing a mask, sanitizing, being away from other employees. I'm just being thrown into the mix. This was a wild week. It was a long week, but also a short week. Like, the week went by very fast, but I also feel like it's just been a long week too. I'm tired for sure. Today was the first day that we worked the full day. We worked 8 to 5. We'll see how long this lasts. I'm proud of myself for making it all the way through. For one, I didn't know that it was gonna be like a chopping block situation. Like, I didn't know they were just gonna be like plucking people off left and right. I'm content. For once, I feel like things are gonna be okay. If you're in a hard situation, you're going through a hard time, things are gonna be okay, I promise. I promise. And now, current day, here we are. How are things now? What's been going on? Am I still there? Little update, I am still at the company. So I've been with the company for, I want to say like almost 6 weeks now. We're just now getting into October. The first week after training, I found out that they'd actually cut my training in half because I was the only person who made it through training and was like actually hired. They just threw me onto the floor and was like, you got this. And I was like, I don't think I got this. So they actually put me back in training for like another week and a half with a totally different group of people. And that was like really weird because I was kind of embarrassed and I was like, oh my god, am I gonna get fired because they thought I wasn't good enough after they already put me out there. But it was not any fault of mine. It was literally because I wasn't trained on half the things that I was supposed to know. It's weird getting used to working full time, but during a pandemic, it's very different. Wearing a mask, social distancing, the environment is so different. Like there are literally hand sanitizer stations everywhere. There's signs everywhere like wear your mask. Our desks are like very spaced out. There's like cleaning stuff everywhere, so at any time you're free to clean your desk or whatever. Where the restrooms are and everything, there's like cleaning schedules and COVID procedures and disclaimers like everywhere throughout the building. In the main lobby of the building, you have to wear your mask, things like that. So it's just very different from like what obviously anyone's really ever experienced. Now some personal updates, and probably the hardest thing that I've been dealing with currently on top of working this job is I have been having some health issues. So on top of working full-time, going to school full-time, I'm now doing 3 scheduled doctor's appointments a week, as well as posting once a week on my YouTube, trying to run a business, Naked Lady, and focusing on my relationship. So I'm really just always tired. I'm always busy, and that is currently where I'm at right now. Also Donald Trump has COVID, so there's that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. I'm literally supposed to post this video today and my camera is about to die. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, follow me on my Instagram, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.